We are back at it again, helping out this mama regain her space. This situation is so different than so many people that I have helped. She struggles with a lot of physical ailments and sicknesses, as well as having an older son on the more severe autism scale. So she actually really maintains the rest of her house. The rest of her house is taken care of, looks nice, and when it came to her bedroom, this is where she's just like, it's the one place I let go. It's the one place that I'm like, don't feel guilty about not doing when I'm taking care of the house and the kids and the meals and all of these things. So I was so happy to be able to come here and help her just get her space back. I tell you guys all the time, for me, a bedroom is so important, especially as a mom, because there's just days that you need to get away, even if it's just at night, to be able to go to bed and relax and truly be able to have a space that you can feel at peace in. I feel like as parents, we often forget about ourselves because we are constantly taking care of our husbands and our kids and the pets and everything else that is on our plate. And this is your reminder, if you're doing that also, to take the time to take care of yourself. And it doesn't need to be all these like pampering type situations, because you guys know me. I'm not that type of person. I'm not going to go to a spa for the day. I'm not going to do this big like nighttime pampering routine. For me, taking care of myself can be as simple as keeping my room in order and taking a hot shower by myself. There's the key word, by myself. So I think it's just really important to recognize those things. She did so well though. Oh my goodness, I was so impressed. I always go over like my rules and stuff of how I like to do quick 30-second decisions when it comes to getting rid of stuff. So if it's a maybe, just put it to the side for now and just do the quick yes and no's, the things that you don't have to think about, because that just gets the momentum going. I know when it comes to decluttering, it can feel so overwhelming, but often just getting that momentum moving is all you need. So those quick decision making, sometimes that can be as simple as go around your room and get rid of the trash. Just worry about the garbage. But if you can do it with your clothes also, you can see she had a lot of clothes. But what impressed me is I told her that we're going to do this once and we're going to make quick like fire decisions. If you're hemming and hawing, don't worry about it. Put it aside, put it in the yes pile. It's totally okay for the first go around for it to be a yes. You don't need to feel bad that you didn't declutter your things by 75% or all of these things. Just getting that quick momentum makes a huge difference. But I told her, you have a lot of room in your closet. It didn't seem like it at this point. You can see there were piles and piles of stuff to go through. And when I go through stuff, I like to go through it all. I like to really get in there and get into the nitty gritty and make sure we're going through everything. But I told her, if we can get you to a point where the clothes you have fit on the hangers you have, that way you're not going out and buying more hangers or anything like that. I feel like that is huge. I've learned over the years of decluttering how nice it is to have a minimal wardrobe. And if you're someone that's like a huge fashion guru and like having a lot of stuff, there's nothing wrong with that. But if you're someone that gets overwhelmed walking to your closet, that is what I would recommend downsizing. If you are anything like me, you wear the same like 5 outfits over and over again. I know I do. I like to be comfortable. I'm constantly cooking and baking and running after a baby and a toddler, and then I have 2 preteen to young growing boys, and there's always stuff going on. And I'm not looking to be in my sundress and jeans and looking all fancy with my sun hat on a day-to-day basis. Sure, there are times that I love getting pretty and getting put together, but for the most part, I just want to be cozy and comfortable, so I grab for the same things. And I love now that I walk into my closet and I see exactly what I wear. on a daily basis. It gives me so much peace in the day that I'm not just throwing stuff on the floor because I forgot I don't like the way this makes me look, or I'm just not feeling this outfit today. How many times have you walked into your closet, tried on an outfit, and you're like, ugh, I don't like this, but you end up putting it back in your closet? I used to be the worst culprit of that, especially with weight fluctuations over the years of having kids and everything. I will say one great thing about now being in my 30s is I feel more confident in myself than I have ever felt, which is crazy because I am someone that I've struggled with weight for years, and it was always a big deal for me, especially being here on social media, because I see all these young, pretty girls that have kids and snap back. And I was always that person that was like, oh, why not me? But with that, I would then save clothes because, oh, maybe I'll fit into it one day. But realistically, all those clothes were doing was making me feel bad. Every time I walked in my closet and saw an outfit that I used to love that didn't fit in, it didn't motivate me. It made me feel self-conscious and like I wasn't enough. And it took me finally getting to a point of being like, no, I am enough where I am. Like, I'm always trying to better myself. And I tell you guys that all the time. Like, I work out, I try to eat healthy and do all of these things. But I'm not going to be that size 2 I was in high school. It's just not going to happen. Maybe one day when I have more time to focus on myself. But I am proud of myself with where I am today. And I do like making little changes and everything when it comes to doing my makeup a little bit more often and really putting focus back on myself. That has been my goal this year. Is I still want to be the wife and mother that I am, but at the same time, I want to find time for myself. And that is one reason I love this Helping Hand series. I love coming to people's houses and helping them clean, declutter, and organize, and do the same for themselves. That's why I've been working a lot with moms. I feel like moms are who I can relate to when they're talking about their struggles of issues they're having, if it's medically, emotionally, mentally, just stages of kids that they have at the moment. Like, I can relate to those things. And I feel like it's so important for us to help each other out and be able to have that time to ourselves. The big thing, though, with this room is I wanted to start in just this front entry. I told her, I'm like, let's just start with this area. We can move on as we go. But I always have about 3 to 4 hours to help people out. It's the time I allot every week, or I do a couple days a week often that I'm helping people. But those 3 to 4 hours are usually kind of perfect for when Athena's down for a nap, after I've done her morning routine and everything. So it's nice because I can help people, but I feel like I'm not away from the kids for too long. I feel like it's that mom guilt of not wanting to be away from my children for too long. But I get so much more done in these 3 to 4 hours. And I tell people this all the time. When you watch these videos and you're like, I don't know how you do it, how you get so much energy, how you get so much done. There is a huge difference from me coming and helping out these mamas than doing it in my own house. I can tell you, today I have been working in my bedroom, and you guys know me, like, my bedroom's not that bad, but I'm decluttering and organizing, kind of thinking like, okay, if we sell the house, I got a lot of questions about selling our house, and I'll get into that in just a second. But yes, we do have our house on the market. But we also have a time frame. If we don't sell our house in July, we're going to take our house off the market. That way the kids aren't moving mid-school year and everything, and we'll put it back up in the spring. But knowing that we're doing that, I want to declutter, and everything that I just don't want to move to a new house, I'm just getting rid of it now. So I've been in my room working on that today, and I can tell you, I have not gotten nearly as much done in the entire day that I have been in my room working than I got done in these 3 to 4 hours. And it is strictly because my focus when I am at these mamas' houses is just this. I don't have kids needing breakfast, lunch, the bazillion snacks throughout the day. I don't have Athena climbing up on me. She was doing that a lot today while I was decluttering. She's definitely been super clingy, which is funny because she's not a snuggler, but she does get clingy where she wants to be held. So she doesn't want to be snuggled, but she wants to be held. I don't know. I always tell her it's a little rude, especially with her being our last baby. I want to take a quick second and thank Navimo for sponsoring today's video. So I have to admit, you know when you're old when you are a freak about your lawn maintenance, and I am one of those people. My favorite time of the week is the day the grass gets freshly cut and the day after. After that, the grass has already grown like crazy and it bugs me. That is why I have been obsessed with my new best friend. So I'd like to introduce you to Susie, the Navimo I-Series robotic lawnmower. She is packed with smart features. Check out the Vision fence. This allows me to keep her out of my flower beds and away from the pets and everything without any wires. And thanks to obstacle avoidance, it gently navigates around anything in the yard, from our solar lights that we have out, as well as if the kids are outside playing or any of the animals. Plus, the child safety lock gives me so much peace of mind because we know little kids get curious. And with the anti-theft, there's even a lift alarm, which is nice just to know it's secure even when I'm not around. I also love how quiet this thing is. When we first ran it, I didn't even think it was running and actually cutting because it was so quiet. So other than Bailey getting freaked out when he's inside the house trying to figure out why there's a robot mowing the lawn, it doesn't freak out the ducks or the dogs. And best of all, it has an app. So yard work is literally effortless. So smart, safe, and stress-free. You really can't go wrong with her. So if you want a beautiful yard without the hassle, check out my link in the description box below. The Navimo I-Series is definitely the way to go. That Navimo has been a game changer in our house. I run that thing. I was doing it daily and I figured that really wasn't necessary because I wasn't really noticing a huge difference, the grass growing in one day. But every other day, and I love it. Our grass always looks pristine. I've been obsessed with it. But moving back into this decluttering, so I was just bringing her stuff, and usually when I am working with people, I end up leaving and having a checklist, kind of like a homework list of things for them to do while I am gone. That way they can work on little things and keep the momentum even when I'm not there. Often when I work with people, it's not a one and done thing. Usually I'm here for a couple weeks coming back and helping them. You'll see with her, I am going to have to come back and help her out some more. But I have to say, by the time we were done, I didn't really have a homework list for her. She did so well tackling every little bin I gave her and stuff. Just, all right, get rid of it, keep it. She was a rock star when it came to decluttering. And when I was talking before about how if we ran out of hangers but still had clothes to hang up, that we would go through her stuff. She had leftover hangers by the time we were done. So impressed with this and how motivated she was to actually do these things. I did tell her, though, after we went through stuff, that's when we started going through the stuff on the hangers. I told her the nice thing is, realistically, when it comes to your hangers, you're going to know for the most part what you're getting rid of. Because if it's still on the hangers and wasn't on the pile on the floor, it means you're probably not wearing it as much as the other things. So we did keep some of the stuff on the hangers, but a lot of this stuff we were able to get rid of because it's she doesn't wear it. There's no need to keep it. And we just literally busted through all of this in such a quick quick amount of time. All right, but quickly going back to us selling our house and moving, because I've had a ton of questions. If you follow us on our family vlog channel, Cambria and Bobby, you are more caught up, but I know a lot of you do not. You just follow my Living with Cambria channel, and you're probably like, oh my goodness, what's going on? So Bobby and I have talked about buying land for years now. When we first moved down here to Florida, this house was never thought about being our forever home. This was our home to get us to where we wanted to be. But we are now at a point where we're like, okay, let's start looking for land. And we found one property and we absolutely love it. It's 10 acres. It's got a pond. It's a fully fenced. It's on a little back dirt road. So it's country living again. Bobby and I love country living. We are not a fan of the city life and all the traffic and all the people. But we obviously have to sell our house first and all that before we do anything. So we've been just crossing our fingers and praying that the right buyer comes through and we can put an offer in on that other house. We did put an offer in on that other house, but because it was a contingency of selling our house, they did not take it right away, which honestly I wasn't expecting. It's one thing to have a contingency of selling your house, but you're already under contract. It's another thing to have a contingency of selling your house and your house is listed as well. So we definitely have it in mind that if it's meant to be, it'll be, but one step at a time. It doesn't have to be crazy, everything all at once, over the top. So back to this though, if you guys do have more questions, feel free to leave them in the comments and I will try to answer as many of those as possible. Also, I apologize. My last couple of videos, I have been doing horrible at keeping up with the comments, actually responding to them. With it being the 4th of July and then us moving and everything, I do read your guys' comments. It's just often I'm doing that when doing like making dinner or taking care of the kids. So actually responding to them has been a lot more difficult the past couple videos. Just know if you leave them in the comments below, I do like to try and answer them here on video. That way I'm still answering your questions, even though I may not be able to type it out and respond. I try and keep up. I do. And I appreciate each and every one of you that like, comment, share. Those are the big things that really help out my channel and make it possible that I can even do this Helping Hand series. So just know all your guys' comments are always so appreciative. That is one thing that if you're like, what can I do to help you out? What can I do to help support your channel? Help you with this Helping Hand series? Like, comment, share. Those 3 things are all I ever ask. I have been asked by multiple people if I was going to start a channel membership, and I go back and forth because for me, I love just sharing with you guys. And I feel like a channel membership is great in some ways, but I've always appreciated being able to give you guys just this free content and supplement that with obviously the YouTube ads and sponsorships and things like that, but without being like behind a paywall or a channel membership or anything of that sort. But I was just hanging up all of her clothes. She did her first go around of decluttering, and you can see she's doing it again. As she was sending me clothes to hang up, it was kind of like a second go around of, okay, do I really need to keep this? Don't I? And like I said, this is where I was so impressed. Often people still get hung up on those maybes that they put to the side, and she wasn't. She's like, nope, we're just getting rid of it. We're good. We're just letting it go. And she knocked it out of the park today. The amount of space she had in her closet when I left, I was in shock, because that is often not the case when I am helping people out. Often people need to do a declutter and then come back a month later, 3 months later, and do it again, which is totally okay. Like I said, if it takes time, that's completely normal. But in her situation, wasn't the case. She was so ready to have her space and so ready to be at peace and calm again that she was just going through it. I wanted to do a quick organization of her stuff. I love color coordinating, but I find often if you're not someone that does a lot of organizing, it can be more difficult to keep up on it. So for her, I was just doing it by sleeve length. So I kept anything that was sleeveless in one area, short sleeves, long sleeves, and then just like sweaters. I find like that is something that's pretty easy to maintain because all you have to do is quickly look at it, a quick glance, and you're good. I will say though, when it comes to these wire shelves in closets, I am not a fan. I feel like they actually discourage organization because you either need to get bins for them, and how often do you forget what's in the bins? Or you're folding stuff just like this and it just looks messy. And I'm someone that if something looks messy, I'm not going to put as much time and effort into keeping it looking nice in the long run. So I did recommend to her to possibly look into dressers, kind of like what we did in our closet. That way she can put her pants in there, all of those things. I love when you have a space in your closet to get the dressers out of your room and put them in your closet. That way your room can feel more open and fresh and relaxed and not so cluttered. But your closet still feels, even if you're someone that wants to do the no fold method, I am all for the no fold method. I feel like, especially like in kids' rooms, having just drawers and bins to throw their stuff in is totally worth it. If you have teenagers all the way down to toddlers, because let's be honest, you give it to your teenagers, they're not going to keep that same. They are not KonMari folding their jeans. I'm telling you that much. And toddlers, you'll KonMari fold it, and I guarantee if they are anything like my kids, they will then decide to have a party and pull everything out. And I actually just found Athena the other day crawling around with a shirt on her head because she was trying to get herself dressed, which was the cutest thing ever because she's 10 months. Actually, today, you guys seeing it. Today's the 8th. She's 10 months old today, and I'm like, you're too stinking smart. But it was so cute. But that's just normal life. So the no fold method, I am all about it. It is one of the best methods if you are feeling overwhelmed with cleaning. Sometimes you just need to take something off your plate and tell yourself it's okay to slack in this area. And if that slacking is not folding your stuff, great. But like I was saying before, often if something looks messy, then I don't want to maintain it. So I have a no fold method when it comes to my kids. However, each drawer is organized. So they have their pants drawer, their underwear drawer, their leggings or whatever. So it is a no fold, but it still goes in the correct corresponding space. Now, when I'm working in rooms, you guys know I like to work in sections, and I like to do it as much to the fullest as possible. She had an adorable husky mix. She was so sweet. She just wanted all the love in the world, but she kept getting in the way. But with that, being someone that used to own a husky, the fur is unreal. So often people say, oh, you sweep, you vacuum at the end. I feel like when you are doing big cleans like this, it's really nice to be able to sweep and vacuum as you go. Yes, you still have to do it at the end, but when there's this much stuff on the floor, it's nice to be able to go over an area and just clean it up before putting it back, especially like here underneath this sofa. Obviously, I wanted to get everything under here figured out. There wasn't that much stuff, but it makes a big difference when you're pulling everything out to really see what is there. And then moving to the next corner. Like I said, we are taking it section by section. The closet was done. That corner area was done. So now let's go behind the closet door. Work our way around the room as much as possible and hit high impact areas. And I feel like this front entry is a huge impact. You walk into your room, what's the first feeling you have? Well, if you walk into your room and you can't open your door, often right away it's just that like feel of dread, like, ugh, I have all this stuff behind my door. So just being able to open your door, it's funny because little things like that you may not think about when it's happening, but it does truly affect you mentally, little things like that. I also always talking about tackling your floor first. That's why when I first came here, you saw I didn't really make the bed. I just kind of tidied it because I like to have a clean surface to be able to pile stuff on and be able to go through it. Just a clean blank space area. That way we can get the floor in order. Our brains are set up that when we see mess and clutter on our floors, we instantly feel more anxiety. And it is a fear response because if you see stuff on the floor, let's be honest, how many times have you kicked something and ended up saying that no 4-letter word because your toe is throbbing? It's a fear response. It's like, ooh, I could step on that. It could make me trip. Like, danger, danger. It's what our brain is telling us. So when people say that their house is a reflection of their brain, it is so very true. But what they forget or don't always realize is your house is a reflection of your brain, but sometimes it is doing the reverse. It's not that your brain is like that. It's that your house is like that, and it's causing your brain that anxiety, that stress, that overwhelmed. But it's hard to differentiate the two of them, and it's also hard to tackle the one when the other is doing that. So if you're getting to a point of feeling overwhelmed and everything, and you're like, well, my house is like this because my brain feels like this, I want to challenge you to tackle one area that's giving you anxiety. Because I am someone that when my house is crazy, my brain and my fuse when it comes to snapping at the kids and stuff is so much shorter, and it all correlates to how my house is. So I've gotten to where I know when I'm feeling that anxiety, and it does really come with learning your body and to listen to it, and it's not going to happen overnight. It definitely didn't happen overnight for me. It's taken years to figure these things out, to really sit back and put 2 and 2 together. But when I am feeling that anxiety, that stress level, that just anxiousness, either I will tell myself, okay, I need 10 minutes just to tidy up the house. I tell the kids, I tell my husband, I'm like, leave me alone. I need to get this house in order because it's making me not feel right. Or if it is really bad, let's say after a party or after whatever it is, I will then get the kids and Bobby involved. I'm like, we need to have a family cleaning session, all of us. And it doesn't need to be a deep cleaning session. Usually it just needs to be a quick tidy up. Tidy up the toys, tidy up the pillows, tidy up the blankets, get the dishes in order, wipe the surfaces. And instantly, once the house is back in order, I feel so much less stress, so much less anxiety, and I don't feel like I'm going to be a bad mom. And I know that sounds bad. It's like, oh, you're not a bad mom. But how many of you have felt that way where you're like, man, I'm snapping at the kids more than I should, or I'm being colder to my husband than I should? And it has nothing to do with them. It has everything to do with you just feeling so overwhelmed. So next time you're thinking about your house and you're like, well, my house is a representation of your mind, flip those two things. Because often our minds are actually a representation of our house, and we don't even realize it. And honestly, I've only started realizing it over the past year or so for myself, that it's not so much that my house is a representation of my mind. Sometimes it is. If I am feeling super stressed, super overwhelmed, the house definitely gets let go. But I have noticed that once I let the house go, it doesn't help me. In the long run, it ends up hurting me because it's hard to get back into a happy space and an easy, carefree space when I've let it go. And I needed to train myself to say, okay, we're not going to just let it go, because in the long run, this is going to make things worse. We are going to take 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 30 minutes and tackle those things. And the biggest difference in the world is decluttering. You guys know that's my go-to. I always tell you guys, declutter, declutter, declutter. It doesn't have to be overnight. It can be a little here and a little there. But you would be so surprised if you are in a situation like this mama and you don't have the help, because I know not everyone has the help. I would love to be able to travel and help as many of you guys as possible, and it's just not possible with 4 kids and everything for me to travel the country, travel the world, and help everyone. But if you would dedicate just 5-10 minutes a day to walk around your house with a black garbage bag, let's say for the next month, you would be so shocked at how much you can do when you dedicate just 5 to 10 minutes. You take away the idea of it being overwhelming, because everyone can find 5 to 10 minutes, and the amount of work you can actually get done in 5 to 10 minutes is incredible. But not so much the amount of work you can get done in 5 to 10 minutes, but the amount of time you're saving yourself in the long run to be able to maintain your home is unspeakable. It's insane. It's so much easier to do those 30-minute tidies and clean up your entire house in 30 minutes when you have less things to go around. We are in such a society of indulging ourselves and wanting the quick fixes and everything that I think often we forget the niceties of having less. We are also often in situations like this mama. She grew up very poor, and she was saying, she's like, I really struggle because what if I need it? I'm like, I get that, but at the same time, this stuff is costing you in other ways. So by letting go, you're saving yourself in time, you're saving yourself in energy, and you're saving yourself in happiness. So I get feeling overwhelmed, but you can't let that fear take over your life, because that fear is actually going to make it worse in the long run. So give yourself the peace of mind and relaxation, and it is time to just give it and let go. But I did want to quickly share the before and afters here. Like I said, did we tackle the entire room? No. Real life here. You guys know you're coming along the journey of these cleanings. But oh my goodness, the progress we made in these 3 hours is absolutely amazing, and I was so happy with the way that it turned out. But I really hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, like, comment, subscribe if you're new, and obviously share. That is the biggest help any of you guys can do, is when you share my videos. But also for my MVPs that made it all the way to the end, make sure you drop this emoji down below, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.